everyone, depending on what time you're listening to this at. This is Mission 68. I'm Brady Labe, and I'm here with my co-host today, Jackson Parnell. Say hi, Jackson.
Hi, everybody.
How's everyone doing today, folks? Hope you're having a good day. Here at Mission 68, we serve justice, love mercy.
And walk humbly.
Yes, we do. All right, let's get right into it. Nothing's stopping us today. This should be airing on a Thursday, August 29th, am I correct?
Yeah.
It's either 7 or 6. So I either hope you're ready for work or that you had a good day at work. One or the other. We're going to jump into some MICA news, some of the stuff that we've already mentioned. September 1st, we're having a grocery giveaway. That's Sunday, September 1st. At the Village Coffee House, 2 to 4 p.m. Free groceries. Bring anyone you want. Bring your neighbor, bring your friend, brother, sister, mother. Bring them. Come and meet us. Come talk to us. We'll be there too. Me and Jackson will be there. Mm-hmm. Dylan, our back-end guy, he's sitting here with us right now. Are you free Sunday?
I might be, honestly.
Okay, he might be there too. And Miss Cindy will be there. If you want to get involved, come Sunday. Come talk to us. Also, we have a air monitor. Micah 68 has an air monitor. Yesterday it read green. 17.4 ppm. I believe that was the correct, so that's good. Green is good.
All right.
Also, I'm going to reiterate, Climate Week. I talked about this last session. Climate Week, New York City. If you want to learn more about it, just Google Climate Week, New York City. There are virtual meetings, so you don't have to go to New York to actually do it. I encourage you to go there. There's going to be business leaders, political leaders of the sort, talking about the actions that they're taking to get a more environmentally friendly business, workplace, things like that. If you're interested, go ahead and check it out.
It's a great educational event.
Alrighty. To touch on yesterday's topic a little bit more, we're going to be going, just for a brief moment, back to the Inflation Reduction Act, because I saw something interesting about it. On an AP article, which is why I just wanted to bring it up real quick because it's explicitly mentions Sulphur, Louisiana. So here I'm gonna quote this one. Near Lake Charles in Sulphur, Louisiana, an area hit hard by hurricanes, Rochetta Ozanne feels surrounded by oil and gas facilities that she worries are responsible for some of her 6 children's health issues, including asthma and eczema. Ozanne started the Vessel Project of Louisiana, which is a mutual aid and disaster relief environmental justice group. This is a quote from her. I'm fighting for my children and for other people's children and grandchildren to be able to safely play outside, she says, and not be victims of climate pollution and also these climate disasters that we constantly face here. This was in an article related to Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, which we touched on yesterday. If you're interested in that, we have our lives posted on the YouTube channel. Go back to it. It was yesterday, so it's the 28th. We're recording on the 28th, but it went live today on the 28th. Go back and watch if you want to learn more about the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, so 2 bigger stories today. We're going over a finding that microplastics are appearing in our brains. So that's probably the worst place for it to be, but that's a little bit of a longer story. And then some bigger local news related to Louisiana. There's been a lawsuit, not the ones we were talking about yesterday, but another lawsuit against the EPA that Governor Landry, when he was still general attorney, filed against the EPA and regarding putting plants right next to black communities. So we're going to get into the itty-gritty on that today. Let's start with the microplastics, because that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that we talk about typically here. This one is a little shocking to me, because not only is it in our brains, it's actually concentrated in our brains. So more so than any other organ in our body, it's about 10 or 20 times more concentrated microplastics are in our brains.
Yeah, that's a little insane. Taking neuroplasticity a little too seriously.
Yeah. That is not cool. This is something that it's pretty new. We know that microplastics were an issue, but we didn't know that they were in our brains. I think the FDA, it says here, the FDA actually still regards that there isn't enough microplastics in food. They don't have regulations on it yet. to actually do anything about it. They don't have regulations on food or drinks to stop them from being certain microplastics in them. And the scientists who are looking into this stuff, of course, mention that it's pretty alarming because there's a lot of negative health
There's
benefits.
tons of health risks involved with microplastics being involved in your body.
Yeah, they did a few studies, specifically one on people who had dementia and Alzheimer's disease. That the brains that they studied who had died from dementia had way more microplastics in them than healthy brains.
Yeah.
So that's not a conclusion by any means, because science is like that. But
And if you want us to put a number to it, was it the average amount of
right here, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, on average, about a 0.5% of your brain is plastic by weight, which that's kind of insane to think about. Almost a rounded up full percent of your body is not organic material.
It's plastic that you've ingested. That yeah. So you could me and Jackson were talking about before the stream if you wanted to. When you die, they can melt your brain down and make a vinyl record out of it.
Yeah, with your favorite songs on it.
Oh god, it's really not funny at all. We're just trying to lighten it up with some humor. But no, so that should make you think. Maybe start drinking out of cans. At the office we have canned water now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's in what is that, aluminum?
Yeah, it's in aluminum cans that Cindy gets shipped to us.
Yeah,
from Texas.
So maybe try drinking tap.
Yeah.
Instead of bottled water. Try to reduce those microplastics. Yeah, that's pretty much the microplastic things. It's just in your brain now, which is a new finding. There's a lot of health risks associated with it. But this is the one that I'm more excited to get onto. Because it's local news, and we will not be putting our opinions on it. We will be giving it to you because we cannot give you we cannot give endorsements. So we're gonna try our best not to say anything. So the EPA cannot enforce tougher pollution rules in Louisiana, on poor and minority communities due to a judge ruling. Yeah. So what does that mean? The EPA wanted to essentially stop some plants being built in certain areas, communities that are disproportionately black.
Permits were being issued for chem plants to be created in disproportionately black areas.
Yes, that's a better way to say it. But the Judge James Kane Jr., he's a Western District Judge of Louisiana, responded to the EPA's enforcements with Governor Jeff Landry, but this was when he was still a state attorney back in May. I think the ruling was recently, as of right now. This article was posted on the 23rd, and it says Thursday in the article. Yeah, so just to break it down for you a little bit more, they did it on the basis that, assuming that the EPA was going to be doing these enforcements, they were doing it based off of Article 6 of the Civil Rights Act, the 1964, I believe, Civil Rights Act. And in retaliation, Governor Jeff Landry wanted them to admit that this wasn't constitutional on the basis that it is affecting how they're regulating the population based off of race. Take that as you will. I think it's a little ironic because the EPA seems to be what they're trying to do
is prevent certain communities from being disproportionately affected due to the presence of the chemical plants, but sort of morphing that argument to be its opposite.
Yeah, I think it's certainly interesting. But yeah, so let's discuss that. that's going to be the big one of today.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What is this? What is the impacts of this for Louisiana, specifically the black community and minority community? Well, we already know that they're disproportionately affected by pollution already. So this legislation is going to be harmful for black communities, minority communities. The EPA did claim that they thought that since the regulations they already had provided, even though these were the regulations that weren't race based. Yeah. They thought that those regulations did a good enough job. If we have any experience with legislation, we know that that's probably not true.
Yeah,
it's probably not true that every single regulation because then they probably wouldn't have tried to do the civil rights investigation in the first place.
Yeah.
Do you have something to add?
I just the whole idea of trying to use the Civil Rights Act to undermine an effort to prevent a seemingly discriminatory legislative practice.
We're gonna leave it at I think we're gonna leave it at that. We don't want to go too far into it. So there's a bunch of communities. It's not specifically pertaining to Sulphur and Lake Charles, although it does apply to it. These are communities that are also in Cancer Alley, so the stretch of the Mississippi in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Yeah. That aren't going to be able to have this kind of impact. This impactful legislation to help them.
Yeah.
And we know we can get into maybe the analytics of it, that because on average it seems to be the case that black people are disproportionately poorer, and it's affecting poorer communities. So to say the least is that this is already they're already dealing with pollution issues, and on top of being in the lower class, they're being put next to very, very heavy pollutants that federal regulation is trying to prevent, but it doesn't seem like the governor wants that to happen on the basis that it's unconstitutional. I don't think. I can't. I'm not going to interpret if that is a good or bad decision. I'm going to let you determine whether or not you think that's a good idea.
It's just important that you are fully informed on the matter at hand before making your decision on this.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on any specific details here, because that's kind of the breakdown, just like the layman's terms of it. I don't want to get too much into the itty-gritty. Yeah, I don't think that there's that's pretty much the big part of it. I would like to talk more about it, but I don't think we can say anything else.
Yeah, without
treading
water.
We don't, because this is a nonprofit, so we aren't allowed to endorse politicians or say anything bad about politicians. So we're not going to. Let's move on. Those were the stories for today. Let's move on to a bit of community interaction, I think we could say. We already mentioned earlier, we have Sunday, the grocery giveaway. Not this Sunday, September. That is this Sunday.
Yeah. September
1st. And we are in the process of making a way to interact with us on the channel. So we can already do that through YouTube comments.
Yeah.
That's the first way we can do it. We kind of think we're going to get a Google Drive going. Maybe an email for people who want to use emails. It depends on whichever's easier. This week for the Mission 6-8 broadcast, this is a startup week for us.
It's very much been a test run.
Yeah, we're trying to right now we're in a new place because I am currently in Sulphur because I have to take care of my dog. I live in Lake Charles. So we're actually at our back-end guy's, Dylan, I'm not going to call you back-end guy, Dylan's house recording this. That's why we're in a different spot right now. But yeah, essentially all that to say, some future plans with Mission 6-8. I think that's important to discuss. We're going to start doing interviews. So recently, I don't want to mislabel what he was. I know that he was running for state treasury. Was he running for it? He hadn't gotten it. No.
I think he was the state treasurer.
Last name Granger. Granger, state treasury. I don't remember his first name because I always get it wrong. State treasurer. Dustin Granger.
Yeah.
Dustin Granger. We spoke to him. He came and spoke to Micah 6'8". I don't think we got any videos from that, unfortunately.
I think there was a recording. We'll just need to get a hold of it.
Oh, we'll post that on the YouTube after this. So he's a Democratic Democratic state treasurer who was interested in coming onto the show and talking. So we're going to have people like that on. There's a few people who have unionized in the area that we're going to have on. And then maybe at some point in time, certain fans, maybe we'll have guests. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else. But we are also in the process of having a more formal studio. So it'll be a little bit more professional. Yeah. That's kind of the news for the channel updates. The channel updates. And we accidentally uploaded a video we weren't supposed to, so we had to take it down. Sorry about that.
It happens. We're learning.
Yeah, I can't think of. I think we got it covered for today.
Yeah, I think that's about wraps it up for now.
Yeah, wraps it up.
I would say mention the what we're planning on making as content going forward.
Like our
10-minute segment videos.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Let's talk about the way that really quick. Let's talk about the way that we're gonna have the YouTube broken down, just very briefly. So we go live twice a day on YouTube and on the radio station. So if you're depending on where you're listening this from, you can go to either the YouTube or radio station. Yeah. On the YouTube, we're gonna have a live section. Those will have all of the lives that we've done on it, besides the ones that we had to take down because I made a mistake. So you can go back to those, read the descriptions to see the topics of what we talked about if you want to know anything specifically. Then we will be editing the videos of the lives down into segments so that if you want to listen to a particular topic without having to dig, we will have those videos posted on the home.
Anything you want clipped, you can just put it in the comments of the video. We will totally make that for you if it's something you want to share with a family member or anything like that.
I think actually on YouTube Live they have a clip option. Yeah. Like in Twitch.
Is it a premium feature?
I don't know. No, I don't think it is. No. I think anyone can use it. So they can clip it ourselves. I think it'll go. Nice. And then we'll also be shooting for about 3 reels a week. That's for YouTube growth. But other than that, this is airing on Thursday, so we have one more show for the week, and that'll be our first week. So yeah, also we would love for community criticism. Maybe you want to hear about something else. Anything, actually, that you have in mind. Go ahead and let us hear it. We didn't have too much to cover today because me and Jackson were a little bit busy.
Yeah.
All right, but I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.